Hi guys, it's Master Coach Tony Morgan, and today's video is on the Positum Pro Max. And also in this video I'm out with my son Myles Morgan. So we're going to be looking more detail in the boiler from our previous video. You're going to see him talk about more parts of the boiler and what he's learning in his journey. Okay, so before we start, what we're going to be doing, looking at some of the tools what we're going to be using. So I always talk about proactive thinking, so we're talking about what we're going to be doing ahead of time, what sort of tools we're going to need. So we're going to be doing a tightness test, so you can see we've got our gauge, we've got our tube. We're also going to be checking on this pine switched off here. We're going to check to see if it's got the correct fuse amperage. We've got our multimeter as well and some screwdrivers. So that's some basic things what we're going to need ahead of time. So we're going to take the case off. I've already demonstrated this on previous videos. So Myles is going to do that, get inside the boiler, and then you'll see what he knows on the components. Okay Myles, so what we're going to do first, we're going to go to the spur switch, take the fuse out, check what fuse it is, if it's the correct fuse. So you can do that for me. It should just pull out. We've got a dog in the background, so let's use the dog. So let's just have a look what amperage that is and bring it close here. Just put that down, so that's the correct amperage. So do you know how to check a fuse to see if it's working okay?
Well, you need a multimeter.
Okay, yeah, so what do you think we'd put it on? What settings do you think we'd put it on? It becomes
Amps
no continuity.
of continuity.
Yeah. So what you do now, so this is all part of training. So for new people, this is what you're going to be doing if you follow Myles' journey. So what we're going to do, we're going to press this and touch these leads together till we get that beep. That's it, yeah. So that's your continuity.
Right.
So that's what you know, it's set, your multimeter is correct. So what you're going to do now is just go across the fuse, touch both ends. That's it. So you know the fuse is good. And if it didn't beep, the fuse would be blown.
Right, okay.
So that's how you test the fuse.
Hi guys, so I'm going to take the case off the boiler now and have a look at some of the components inside of it. I'm with my dad, my trainer, and he's just teaching me a few things about the boiler.
Okay, so we've noticed something actually on the pressure gauge. It's a bit low, as you can see. So Myles, what does that mean to you now you've seen that?
Well, now I've seen this, that the pressure bar is low, it could mean that the expansion vessel up there needs repressurising, as when it got to 3, the PRV is open, letting water out of the expansion vessel. So when it's gone back to its normal setting, it's gone a bit lower as the pressure has come out of the boiler. When it's when the PRV opened, letting water out, some pressure was let out too, so needs repressurising.
Yeah, well put, well put. Okay Myles, so what do you think we're going to do next to actually do this expansion vessel?
So before starting the process of repressurising the expansion vessel, firstly you'd need to isolate the flow and return valves, as the boiler's in the kitchen and there's radiators upstairs. Nextly, you would need to drain the boiler down, either by the PRV, which is here, or by the drain pipe, which is the little white one there.
That's it, excellent. And then once we do that, then we can
start pumping up the boiler, the expansion vessel to 1 bar of pressure.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. Well done. So just removing the out of combustion cover. That's it.
Okay, so there's a few more things you need to do. Firstly, you need to remove this spark generator and this condense collecting tray, just so we can access the Schrader valve because they're in the way at the moment. So there's two ways to remove this spark generator. There's one screw here and another screw on the opposite side, or you can remove this screw here and a screw on the top.
So the isolation valves are here and here. So you just close them off like that. A little bit stiff this, oh there it goes. That's a bit stiff as well. That's even more stiffer. I'll have to use the grips on that just to turn it.
So we're going to screw this lever off because the grips unfortunately didn't turn it. So put the adjustable spanner on and close it off.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we have to do.
Because the dog's outside and it's big and scary, we're not going to use the PRV. We're going to use a drain plate and get it into these bowls.
Right, I'll show you what you do. So you get your hand on it. I'm opening it. I'm turning it like that. See it moving?
Yeah.
And then you see the water coming out. So that's what we're going to do. So it's going to drain into there. Just turn it down a bit. So we'll just let that do that so it drains out. So in the meantime then we can remove the spark generator.
What I'm going to do now is take the dust cap off the Schrader valve so we can put our foot pump on it. So what I'm going to do now is put the pump.
So you can see we've got the foot pump on our little pad here. It's protecting the customer's floor. Customer services always do this.
So what's happening here is, as I'm pumping air into the expansion vessel, water's being displaced and pushed out of the drain pipe.
So we've just gone over one bar, as you can see, and we do that because we'll lose a bit of air pressure once we remove the foot pump off the Schrader valve.
Another observation we've made, as you can see, the diverter valve cartridge has been leaking. So I'm just putting the rest of the stuff back after pumping up the expansion vessel. Right, now we're finished with the expansion vessel and close the drain pipe. We're going to reopen the isolation valves.
That's it, so we're ready to fill up. So this is the filling tap here, so you've got two levers. So turn this one first, move that towards you. Right, the other one you're going to do slowly and then Have a look at the pressure gauge as you do it.
Alright.
Just do it slowly. Just to go up to the green, top of the green part. And once it gets there, now close it back. A bit more. That's it. Close it off now.
Another thing I've noticed is the auto air vent is just starting to leak.
So that's two things we need to change, the auto air vent. And what's the other thing we need to change?
This was the diverter valve cartridge. Putting it on heating mode to get rid of the air in the boiler. The timer's on, but we've got no demand here, so there must be a room thermostat which isn't turned on. Right, it's on one. I'm just going to turn it round so it should come on the boiler. Right, now as you can see, we've turned it up and the light for the demanders came on. Now there's a bit of a delay before the burner comes on, so we're just waiting for that. The pump's now pushing any air out the boiler. So it's firing up now.
This is the burner light there.
As you can probably hear, the fan's very noisy. It's vibrating like crazy. So that's going to be 3 parts, which we're going to have to come back and change. So I've run it in the heating mode. The pump's pushing air out the boiler, and we ran it for a few minutes. And basically that's the end of the repressurising the expansion vessel. So I'll see you in the next video, guys.